We just got new metrics in. Donald J. Trump is the president of the United States elect. He won't be inaugurated until January, but the word has just reached the New York Hilton. Donald J. Trump, the son of a Queens millionaire, defied all conventional wisdom and all expectations. The long-term practices of the Republican Party were stood up.
What you say, what you say, what you say now?
Make America great again.
Congratulations, President Donald Trump. Congratulations,
Donald Trump.
congratulations, President Donald Trump.
Congratulations. You try to take his life. Not once, but twice. He stood on his feet, put his hands in the sky, and told the American people to fight, 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 fight.
And through all his trials and tribulations, he made it back to the White House. And it's time for a celebration. Congratulations, President Donald Trump. Congratulations,
Donald Trump.
congratulations, President Donald Trump. Well.
Congratulations.
Donald Trump.
No taxes on overtime, Social Security and tips. No more men's and women's sports. They will be exempt. The commander-in-chief is back. More peace around the world. Build that wall and make it tall, so we can all be secure. President Donald Trump. Congratulations,
Donald Trump.
congratulations, President Donald Trump.
Congratulations.
Donald Trump.
Secure the border. Drill, baby, drill.
More jobs, no inflations, and now we as Americans, we can live. Who's the man with the master plan to make America great again?
Donald Trump.
His name is
President Donald Trump.
Make America great again.
Donald Trump.
Make America great again.
Donald Trump.
If my sister Diamond was here tonight, America, if she was here,
Donald Trump.
Diamond and Silk will be saying something like
Trump's
this.
your president. He's your president. He's the president. Trump's your president.
over. This is the United States, not the divided states.
That's right.
And in these states, all of our lives matter.
including yours.
We are one race, and that's the human race. And the only color President Trump sees is green.
Ching-ching.
And he wants you to have some of it. Trump's your president. He's your president. He's your president. Trump's your president. He's your president. He's your president. Trump's your president. So get over it. Stop crying like a baby and a little bitch. You mad, that come off. That is him trying to tell you that took the ball. He's a baller, a shot caller. I hope he builds that damn wall till he taller. Build that wall, build it tall, protect us all before this country's all. Trump's your president. He's your president. He's your president. Trump's your president. He's your president. He's your president. Now you can go around acting like that Trump. Take a look in the mirror. You just got stormed. So you tell your friends to draw a line in the sand to make the choice between you and him like you the man. So let me tell you something that you really need to know. A lot of your fans vote for Trump, so maybe you need to go. So tell the NFL they should stand up and still a kneeling on the flag trying to pull us up. And they can take a knee and kneel during halftime, but don't do it on our watch time or our time. It's sad that you had to use racism to make a connect, but with our rhyme, we're just keeping you in check.
Ooh, y'all.
Trump's your president. He's your president. He's your president. Trump's your president. He's your president. He's your president.
Hello, Diamond. Part 2.
Now we don't care if you black, white, or pinstripe. If you are a Republican or Democrat. If you are a liberal or conservative. If you are gay or straight. If you are an American citizen. In case you don't know. In case you forgot. In case you suffering from amnesia. Guess what? Trump's your president. He's your president. He's your president. Trump's your president. He's your president. He's your president. So take a look around you. What do you see? The same old bullshit staring back at you and me.
The Senate, the Congress, the Democrats side, some in the Republican camp, it's all the same guy.
To all the haters, the race baiters, the agitators, and the demonstrators.
Even the ones that want to leave cause they're really whack. Pack your coat, pack your hat, don't you come back.
And when the president decided to drain the swamp, to benefit people even if you're in a dump.
Lower taxes, more money, jobs from overseas, immigration enforcement, no more freebies. Believe that and don't forget
Trump's your president. He's your president. He's your president. Trump's your president. He's your president. He's your president. Trump's your president. He's a baller, baby. He's your president. He's your president. And he's gonna win again. He's your president. He's your president. It's about time that you melted down snowflakes. Take a seat, listen up, sip it up with some taste. Trump's your president. He's your president. He's your president.
because Trump is the man with the master plan, and all he wants to do is make America great again.
Yes, y'all. Trump is your president, okay?
He's your president. He is your president. He's all of our president. Somebody need to elect some people from the left on the left. No, some of these deep state snake Republicans, yeah, these rogue deep state snake Republicans, they need to learn it too, that Trump is your president, okay? You can go to trumpsyourpresident.com. That's trumpsyourpresident.com. Go there, you all. Download the song, use it as a ringtone, add it to your playlist. You know, do what you do with it. You know what you do with music that you like. Yes, so that you can get your boogie on. You can get your boogie on. You can go ahead and get your exercise on. You can do the shakes and different things. Yeah, you can do a whole lot of different stuff. Okay, that's what you can do. All right, trumpsyourpresident.com. All right. Welcome you all to the Diamond and Silk Chit Chat Live Show. I'm your host, Silk. You are my co-host, my Diamond Dream Team. And as Diamond would always say, it takes a team to build a dream. So I want you to stop what you're doing right now. Be sure to like and share this broadcast, this podcast. Share it everywhere, you all. Share it everywhere and let them know that Silk is on the air. Okay, I want you to share it. All right, we have a very, very deep show coming up tonight. And I want it shared everywhere because sharing is caring, okay? Don't forget to download the Vocal app, the Lindell TV app. It's 2 different apps and it's absolutely free. I want you to download these apps to stay updated and informed. All right, I'm looking at my chat line. I want to know where you're coming in and where you're watching the show from real quick. I see you from Young Towns, Ohio. From Ohio. Got a lot of Cincinnati, Ohio here. Hey, Cincinnati. Yes. Hey, darling, North Carolina. North Carolina is in the house, you all. Yes. Montreal. Hey, baby. Hey. I see you, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Hey, Pittsburgh. I see you, darling. I see you, Tennessee. Yep. Alabama. Hey, sweetheart. How you doing? How you doing, Texas? I see you, Texas. Yeah, you just coming on in there, just sliding on in there. Hey, baby. Yes. No, I don't have any videos with nothing but Diamond rants, but you can go back and see a lot of our old videos because she did a lot of ranting. Yes. So thank you all so much for coming in to watch the show tonight. I truly do appreciate it. Shout out to Lindell TV, RSBN Network, Bless News Network, diamondandsilkmedia.com. Shout out to each and every one of you all. Thank you so much for streaming, allowing the Diamond and Silk Chit Chat Live Show to stream live on your platform. Listen, the show is sponsored by mypillow.com. Don't forget to get the My Pillow 2.0, the My Mattress Topper 2.0, the sheets, the slippers, the towels, the loungewear, and so much more right there at mypillow.com. Be sure to use promo code Diamond or promo code Trump1 because guess what, y'all? Trump did win. All right. And he going to win again. Yes. Don't forget about my coffee at mystore.com. I always say that the best part to waking up is not being woke, but being awake with my coffee. So don't be hasty. Go get you something tasty right there at mystore.com. Use promo code Diamond or promo code Trump1. The show is also sponsored by patchthat.com. Patchthat.com. You all, these patches are absolutely incredible. Yes, these are LifeWave patches. It's a patented technology. It's a body regenerator. You all, no plugs, no sockets, no machines, none of that stuff. All you need is the patch, you all, because it's light. It's like a photo light therapy. Okay. All right. The only cure for healing the body is the body, not poison. Okay. All right. You walking around here sick. You just all messed up and you adding more poison to your body. What you think gonna happen? Huh? Yeah. So give the body what it needs and keep in mind that the patches are money back guaranteed. That's patchthat.com. Don't forget, you all, that the show is also sponsored by diamondandsilkstore.com. That's diamondandsilkstore.com. Go get the Diamond and Silk bobblehead memorabilia. Yep, get the Diamond and Silk bobblehead memorabilia, you all. Yes. I want you to be part of history, okay? And I'm giving it to you for 50% off. 50% off at checkout, all right? You don't have to put in no codes or anything like that. You get it for 50% off at checkout. Also, you all, don't forget the Trump bling pins. Bing, bing. Yeah. The Diamond and Silk signature pins. and so much more right there at diamondandsilkstore.com. Don't forget to visit Dr. Artist and Dr. Stella. Okay, visit Dr. Artist and Dr. Stella. All right, it's what I want you all to do. They right there. You see their button there. Click on it and purchase some products there. Special thank you to the Diamond and Silk Chit Chat Live monthly contributors, to everyone that sent in mail, sent in beautiful cards, little notes and different things. I just want to say thank you all so much. Thank you for being a contributor to the show. And if you would like to make a one-time contribution or become a monthly contributor, go to support diamondandsilk.com. That's support diamondandsilk.com. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, send them to diamondandsilk@gmail.com. That's diamondandsilk@gmail.com. All right, you all. I want to go ahead on and get into this show, you all. We have some gentlemen here that's seeking a pardon from President Donald J. Trump. I want them to come on so they can give you all a background of what actually took place, what happened. And I believe that these individuals were railroaded. And we know what railroading looked like. We all know what it looked like. All right. So I want them to come on and tell their side of the story as they seek for a pardon from President Donald J. Trump. Please welcome to the show, Mr. David Banks and David Zirpolo. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing good. Now look in the camera, okay? Look in the camera. Find the camera, look in the camera. There you go. Now you're looking at us, okay? All right. I know I look beautiful and all, and you have to look up at the top and so you can see still, right? But look in the camera so we can all see y'all, okay? All right, all right. So that's David Banks and Dave Zirpolo. Okay, which one is David Banks?
I'm David Banks.
David Banks,
And
okay, and Dave Zirpolo. All right. What I want you gentlemen to do is to give the audience a backstory as to what got you here. How did you get locked up? How were you railroaded? So that the audience can get familiar with this particular story.
Okay, after 9/11, we decided we were going to develop software. The Congressional 9/11 Commission had found that FBI's antiquated case management system was antiquated and it contributed to the attacks on 9/11. So we got together, a group of developers. That's our IT background. That's all we really did for most of our career. We're IT consultants, software development, data management, and all things kind of IT with a bunch of various backgrounds, diverse backgrounds between all of us. So we were developing the software. We started marketing the software. The original software was a client server version. We started marketing that and got the interest of the Colorado Bureau of Investigation. We were going to deploy the software there for $375,000. That fell through. And then about that time, we were approached or had interest from the Department of Homeland Security. We were also looking to market the software to the NYPD and various other agencies. So in the process of doing that, we actually engaged the services of staffing companies, which was the central, they staff IT contractors on our project for software development, et cetera. We served as billable consultants on some of the work, and that's where we were going. Now, as things were developing and we were getting close, we actually had moved up quite well to the higher levels officials there at the Department of Homeland Security and the NYPD, which was probably our two most focused agencies. After viewing the software, there was intense interest in the software, and we decided that we were going to have to make some modifications. They were actually requesting some modifications, which is why we engaged some staffing companies to staff the project.
Okay.
And the weird thing that happened, obviously, there was a lot of interest by large companies. I'll give you a little background. As we kind of moved forward, we were making modifications for the Department of Homeland Security and the NYPD. We actually had on staff 3 federal agents, retired federal agents, plus retired sergeant from the NYPD, who are providing subject matter expertise on the software and providing us information on what the NYPD would like or what Department of Homeland Security would like to see. So we're making these modifications, and we're going back and forth from Washington, D.C. And to New York, and we're showing these modifications to the agencies. But as we were moving forward, what ended up happening after 9/11 was that there was a joint Department of Justice and Department of Homeland Security initiative called the Federal Investigative Case Management System. And at the time, the government was considering, okay, we need a single case management system for the entire federal government. All agencies would use the same system. On October 28, 2004, we were called to DC after presenting our software to do a presentation for officials from DHS, U.S. Marshals, Department of Justice, FBI, Secret Service. All of these people were in attendance. After that October 28, 2004 meeting, the Department of Homeland Security official told us that, well, the FBI liked your software. And lo and behold, 2 months after that, we're rated as a purported software company. So what we find interesting about that, we were anticipating a contract, and therefore that's why we engaged, given all the strong interest, that's why we engaged staffing companies to assist us, excuse me, in completing modifications to the software. So
let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question, because I want to make sure we all understand what's going on. Are you able to just give a small miniature summary of what this technology did?
Okay, yeah, the software technology was a enterprise class case management systems that managed all 3 phases of the criminal investigation, from the initial, follow-up, and prosecution phases. So whether and there's a full case management system. You conduct interviews, all of the multimedia, evidence and chain of custody, confidential informants, operations planning, etc., and a laundry list that even supported crime scene investigation and things of that nature. And even going into jury selection, prosecution phase, and all the information, we would bundle up the case file on all the information that was collected by the investigators, bundle up that case file and electronically send it to the prosecutor. And then they would start working on the case. So it was pretty much soup to nuts.
Wow.
Criminal investigation software, from the initiation of the investigation to the prosecution. And then we were also considering moving information into the prison side after that. But we hadn't got to the prison part of the application or started gathering.
They had rated you. They probably rated you before you could get there. So you, Dave, and some other guys also worked on this as well, correct?
That is correct.
All right, yeah. Dave, what was your part in it, Dave?
So I was one of the project managers. So I was the person that helped make sure all of the work got done. And I would go through and I did some development, but most of it was administrative, of making sure that the work got done properly, that we tested the work, and I managed the people. So
what happened is, you gentlemen, you all created something. You created this particular technology that can be used for our homeland security, for the FBI, for the prison systems, and so forth, especially after what happened on 9/11, correct?
That is correct. And it was when I tell you the interest was intense, it was very, very intense, which is what prompted us to continue to move forward. And to our surprise, landing a federal government contract became difficult, and even more difficult after the raid, because now we were undermined by the community that we were actually trying to sell to.
It was
okay. So let's stop right there. Let's stop right there. You said after showing this here technology to these different agencies and so forth, you was then rated Okay. Your
Correct.
home was raided, right? What were they in
No,
search of?
actually
go
our
ahead.
business was raided.
Okay.
And on February 9th, 2004, or 2005, excuse me, 20 plus armed agents came storming into our business. And the search warrant said that they were there to receive financial records for staffing companies. Well, the financial records were all there, well and good. They could have retrieved those records, but instead they were at our business from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. at night, imaging every computer in the business.
They was basically looking for your technology.
That is correct.
Yes.
That is certainly our belief at this point. And as you get into some of the facts and the motivations of the government for what was in the search warrant, and the interviews, even the interviews they conducted showed that we had a viable product and was moving forward to gain contracts. And officials from law enforcement officials provided an affidavit that actually said we had a viable product. This gentleman was a retired Immigration and Customs Enforcement SAC, special agent in charge in Denver. He was working with our company. So, you know, what's strange, Silk, is who just fundamentally, and it doesn't pass the smell test, that we're going to be in the middle of some sort of criminal scheme and bring law enforcement into our business to work with us while we're participating in criminal activity. So that alone tells you that something nefarious is here and unjust is going on here. It just doesn't really make sense.
It just didn't make sense. So what did they charge you all with?
The garden variety mail and wire fraud. Now, what they said was the invoices were sent through the mail. This is what the indictment was predicated on. Well, we defrauded people because invoices for timesheets and money spent on employees working the project were sent through the mails. Well, the employees work for the staffing company and they submit timesheets to their employer. So unless they put falsified timesheets, that would still have nothing to do with the business. It would have something to do with that individual. But the government claimed, and I'm going to read you something real quick that'll give you what the indictment actually said.
Okay.
The indictment said we perpetrated a scheme to defraud various staffing companies by falsely representing we had a large current contract with one or more large government agencies, including the Department of Homeland Security and New York City Police Department. So that puts the government's position in context. Now, real quick, if nobody does business, everything that happened at trial proved that they did credit checks on us and they extended credit. We signed the staffing company's contracts. We didn't provide them with any documentation. So after the government raided our business, they made it impossible for us to close business and to be able to pay our debts. So it became all fulfilling prophecy. The government comes in and says, well, you guys never intended to pay these people. How do you never intend to pay the people or pay your vendors? You made it impossible for us to pay anybody.
Wow.
And Homeland Security was so interested in our product, they asked for a quote, and that quote would have paid off all our bills completely if they had just bought that one module.
It was over $100 million quote.
Oh, hold on. Whoa. Okay. Go ahead.
And we have the receipts. I think what people don't understand is this was done overtly. We have the receipts, including quotes, including at the time the government indicted us, we had two impending contracts that was being finalized with the city of Philadelphia. Again, we have the receipts, all the emails with the city of Philadelphia. We have all the communications between us and the Department of Homeland Security. But strangely, the weird part about how this thing started, it didn't start with a staffing company complaining to the FBI.
Right.
A a former assistant United States attorney by the name of Greg Goldberg somehow sent a letter to the U.S. Attorney's Office. To this day, we still don't know how he got involved. And he pretty much told the U.S. Attorney we were running an illegitimate business and that our business was just bogus entities set up solely for defrauding staffing companies. In other words, we had no viable product, we had no software, and which is insane because none of that is even close to true. And all the evidence, there was evidence even in the search warrant affidavit that the lead agent interviewed the FBI in DC who attended that 2004 presentation, and she said our product was suitable for work in a federal agency.
Right.
So also the head of Immigrations and Customs at the time, he had submitted an affidavit. This is all before they raided our business. He told them, quote, that he and the two other FBI agents working as independent contractors decided that IRP Solutions, our company, had a viable law enforcement product and appeared to be moving forward to acquire state and federal law enforcement contracts. So before you raid our business and say we're a purported software company, you have an affidavit from a federal agent saying that we had a viable product and we're pursuing law enforcement contracts. You also had the lady in DC who saw the software. But even with all of that, and she worked for the FBI or for the FBI's CIO, the Chief Information Officer, who overviews all software and information technology. He interviewed her, and she said the software was suitable. With all of that, the government still comes in and says we're a purported software company. That was what was in the search warrant affidavit. And that happened just weeks. He had that information weeks before they raided our company. I don't know how they got the affidavit or the search warrant approved by a judge, but what I've seen with the type of lawfare and stuff that happens with President Trump, I'm really not surprised.
Yeah. Did any money exchange hands?
Employees were paid by the staffing company, which they have to bill us back. So independent or contractors, both W-2 and independent contractors, work on our software and in our company to help build the software. They bill the staffing companies who farm them out to our company, and we're responsible as a business for those bills. To
pay that. It's like an independent contractor 1099. So
that's correct.
So my next question is, did any money exchange hands for the sale of this particular technology?
Only small. We had developed on our basic solution. We had solutions that were desktop and server based. Now,
so you had different packages, basically. Different packages. I got you.
Yeah. But so the smaller solution.
Go ahead.
The smaller solution had the smaller solution had sold, and when we were actually completed the larger solution, the government started going towards browser-based technology. So we had to say, okay, they no longer want what we call client-server technology. They want web-enabled or browser-based technology. So now we're in the process where we can't sell. The government's asking us for that. Every time we do a presentation, the government says, can it do this? We go back, they say, wow, after we do some development, yeah, this is great stuff. So we're like, okay, we'll continue to do this development. Like I said, we're a small company. We're not a household name like IBM or Lockheed Martin. So we have to try to please and show them that our software works. Which if we had had their name.
Yeah, that's the issue. You're a small company with $100 million quoted possible contract in hand with the government. So the big dogs, the top dogs, is going to come for you. All right. And that's what they did.
That is correct.
I was looking at something that was sent over by Mr. Is it Banks? You're David Banks. Okay. I think it was
David. Yeah.
somebody else. It was somebody else, I think,
It was
too.
Lamont.
Lamont Banks. Okay. Are you all brothers?
Yes, we are.
You are brothers? Okay, wonderful. It says, I was reading something. It says, according to a team of House Judiciary Committee attorneys, a former federal appeals judge, and other experts, the case was a civil matter, not criminal. And the allegations and the indictment didn't support a federal crime. Without sufficient evidence to warrant charges based on the IRP's business activities, the FBI, Colorado U.S. attorneys, and IRS used the corporation debt of IRP Solutions to improperly impanel a grand jury for the purpose of secretly investigating Pastor Rose M. Banks, the mother of IRP Solutions, COO David Banks, and the mother-in-law of. Okay, so what they did, whoever the Judiciary Committee attorneys and a former federal appeals judge basically said this right here, that the way that they went at you all to indict you all was actually wrong. Correct?
That is correct. And it goes so far. I don't know if you're familiar, former federal appeals judge H. Lee Sarakin, he was the judge who freed Hurricane Carter.
Yeah.
He took interest in the case because of an egregious Fifth Amendment violation that occurred in the case where they forced us to testify. His writings, he spoke to the Washington Post. He reviewed the entire case and said, and it's quoted in the Washington Post, the allegations in the government indictment, all the proof in the case goes the other way from what the government alleged, all of it. He also said that all of it. He also said the government's allegation that this was a scam pretty much defies reality and all the facts in the case. And we know that. Go ahead, Dave.
We know how this is. Also said the trial and the appeal were infected with prosecutory and judicial misconduct, which resulted in the filing of 3 judicial complaints, one of which was from an attorney. Outrageous government misconduct includes the prosecutor knowing the defendants was innocent, intentionally made a criminal case out of a civil business matter and pursued malicious prosecution against them. So, you have all of this information here, but you all were still found guilty of this, of what they said, a claim that you did, okay? How much time were you all given?
7 to 11 years.
Oh my God.
In prison. I was given 11 years.
And the prosecutor wanted to give him more and the judge wouldn't do it.
Which is shocking because of the bias of the judge. And as this thing is, I can't even stress enough of how much information is available to show how overt this injustice was. They did it. They just did it. They didn't care. We tried to go to the media from the outset. The media showed interest, and all of a sudden, nobody returned our calls.
That's
so
right.
we're
That's
back
how
to
they
what, so that we're back to what, okay, we have a state-controlled media being controlled by the federal government. And I'm telling you, a lot of people say a lot of stuff about Donald Trump. When I saw his case, it was just, especially the one in New York, it's just the way it is. This is the way it works. It wasn't shocking to us.
Right.
Yeah, same script, different cast. And see, this was back in 2004, 2005. You all end up spending time in prison. How much time did you do, Dave?
I was in for 8 years. I was released early because of COVID. I was supposed to do 10 years.
All right. And how long were you in for, David?
8 years, and then they were releasing some people trying to empty out some of the prisons for COVID. One of our co-defendants, Clint Stewart, actually went out under the First Step Act, thanks to President Trump.
Yes. I looked at his video today, Clint Stewart, that thanks to President Trump and the First Step Act, it allowed him to get out of prison. Now, with you gentlemen being out of prison, you are in search and seeking for a pardon from President Donald J. Trump. I want you all to tell President Trump why you feel like you deserve a pardon from him. He watches the show at times.
Yep. Here was a situation that we did not commit a crime. We spent 8 years in prison. They still are bothering us about restitution and collecting. If we have a tax refund, they'll take our tax refund. It's hard to get a job because we have a felony on our record. You have all of these situations that even though we did the time that we shouldn't have done, they're still bothering us by preventing us from working, collecting money from us that we don't have because we're not working.
This is Colorado, correct?
That is, it's Colorado, District of Colorado. Yes.
That's true. Okay. Go ahead, David. What were you about to add?
The reason our case, I don't think, and we haven't provided all the receipts as of yet.
Right. This is just an hour show.
This is just what?
This is just an hour show.
Oh, an hour show. Okay.
Yeah, we can't show all the receipts, but there's a lot. Let me just say this. There is a whole lot of receipt. There is a whole lot of evidence of prosecutorial misconduct, and the same thing that we see how they persecute innocent individuals. Anybody that they want to get, anybody that they want to attack, they've done it to these gentlemen. Okay, they've done that, and I've seen it on the back end. All right, they've done that. Yes. Okay, so you're right. We haven't presented everything. Go ahead, darling.
Yeah, well, one of the things I do want to bring up is when you talk about the prosecutorial misconduct, the Fifth Amendment violation, they couldn't even find what the judge said in the transcript because that part of the transcript was missing.
It disappeared. That's one of the issues. The bottom line is we were trying to do something. I'm a veteran, served in the U.S. Navy. We were trying to do something good for the country by building a platform that really could assist law enforcement. We were very passionate about it. The reason, top reason, we're innocent. That why we would, and lawfare was used to destroy our business, to destroy us, and to imprison us. If anybody deserves a pardon, in my opinion, of course, we leave that up to other people to judge. It's the people who are innocent. And we can provide all the evidence of our innocence, but we never could get the media to look. And one final note, so it is unprecedented, and that's how for a former federal appeals judge to come out and publicly speak about a federal case. He's only done it one time. And he said this is the worst injustice he's seen in 60 years in the law. That's saying a lot from a judge who spent a lot of time on the bench.
And he wrote a letter to President Obama discussing the case, and Obama wouldn't even look at it.
Oh, and he's a liberal judge. This is how bad this thing is. Judge Surrogate is a prominent liberal-leaning judge. Dartmouth, Harvard, was nominated by Carter and then to the Court of Appeals by Clinton. Obama completely ignored it because his boys down in Colorado, in my opinion, I think he just didn't want the stain to be on his Justice Department for doing this sort of corruption.
Yeah. Oh, this is disturbing to me. Do you all still have the technology?
We do.
You still own the technology?
We do.
Do you still work on the technology?
We do.
Right.
It has to go through some modernization right now because obviously it's been a while.
I totally understand. And what you was basically doing, what you all were doing, had this technology. This is the name of your company is IRP Solutions. You were setting up solutions for different things. And you had this one particular technology that could have helped this country with certain things. But unfortunately, certain people in high positions that have basically been rolled do not want this technology out there, because then all of the dots would be connected. They want the missing pieces. A lot of these people want to keep the missing pieces. So your technology would have basically blew the roof off of a lot of different things and connected the dots pretty much.
Well,
okay.
That's true.
Go ahead.
There's also the fact that, and we've seen it with Doge, the government, a lot of companies make a lot of money on maintenance contracts for old technology. So that's a gravy train for large defense contractors and systems integrators that, well, we don't want to change the technology, boy, we got the gravy train going. So sometimes innovation takes a long time in government for those type of barriers that exist by large companies that really they want to maintain the status quo and make money off of old technology. It's a sad reality in the government.
According to Elon Musk, go ahead, darling.
Well, one of the things I'll say is I think it was also a slap in the face to the big companies that this small company in Colorado could do what we were doing and turn things around so quickly, and that it was a predominantly Black company.
There you go. That was going to be my next thing. This was a predominantly Black company. Okay. I'm sorry. That's how it rocks and rolls. These liberal Democrats that get on my doggone nerves when they act like they for Black folk, and they ain't for no folk but illegal aliens. And one thing that Elon Musk, I recall him talking about, is how the technology, the different things, the way they do different things when it comes down to the Social Security number, to the voter rolls and so forth, it's all from something old. It's an old way of doing things. Okay. All right. And I do you believe that this technology will absolutely help with our agencies right now, as it pertains to, we could say Doge, or just like the FBI now, the DOJ now, that technology will still assist with what they need it for, to connect the dots.
100%, absolutely. We also know that it appears that the government makes changes, but the changes, a lot of money gets spent in government, but the changes are never good enough or never innovative enough to really change what's going on. Doge has mentioned that they had, I think one of the agencies had hundreds of systems that don't even talk to each other. These stovepipe systems. We address these issues about stovepipe systems and antiquated systems, and it's all over the government. You don't know what's funny? In 2003, the NYPD was still using typewriters in some of their work.
Oh, wow.
And carbon sheets. So we saw an industry that was in dire need of modern technology. And honestly, the government was going through their modernization initiatives during that period. They were trying to modernize everything. And the FBI, they spent $380 million on SAIC. It failed. They had another project called Sentinel. They spent close to $1 billion on. Jack Israel, the CIO of the FBI, said it failed when they tried to do a case management system.
Yeah. See, it always failed. They spend all of these millions and billions of dollars towards these different systems, but the system always failed. Nothing never gets done. I remember when it's the thing with the Obamacare and how they built that particular system, and that failed. It's just ridiculous. And when you talk about the things that don't change, the only thing that changes a lot of their bank account numbers. It goes up. Okay. Yeah. That's the only thing that's changing. But for the betterment and the benefit of the American people, no, it just gets worse for us. Now, I like y'all a whole lot, but now I'm gonna tell you now, if I'm the middleman, okay, I still got to be a businesswoman. I'm a businesswoman, and if I'm the middle woman, let's say it like that, in the middle of all of this here, getting into the right places, y'all know you're gonna have to cut a sister a piece of the pie. I'm just letting it. I'm letting it all out, and I'm letting y'all know. All right, okay. I gotta make sure I get that. It's what 10? I think it's 10:46. At this particular time, we spoke about this right here. So you let Lamont know, you let everybody know that the sister gonna have to get a piece of the pie. And I like to eat. I love to eat, especially pie. Okay. All right. Listen. So I am praying for you all to get a pardon from this so that you all can get back into your good graces, because one thing that we've learned about a lot of the rogue government, I could just call them that, the rogue government, they don't give a doggone about who they hurt, what family they hurt, who they prosecute. All they want is their will to be done. But in the end, I truly believe that God's will be done. That's what I truly do believe. And I appreciate you all for being strong in the midst of all of this, just truly being strong in the midst of all of this. When you talk about the missing transcript, the missing transcript that you can't seem to find, that takes me back to this J6 committee, the J6 so-called committee, the different evidence that got deleted. No one could seem to find anything. Okay, but yet and still they had all of this, what they call evidence. And this is it's ridiculous. The denial of expert witnesses to prove your innocence. You know, I'm just thinking of a lot of different people, especially our January the 6ers, who went to court and they were unable to disclose their evidence to the courts because whoever was the judge, whoever was the prosecutor, did not like the J6ers, okay? So we know exactly what you're talking about, even though it happened for you all way back in 2004, way back then. And then and you done did time. You done did 8 years, all right? You get out, and some got out on the President Trump's First Step Act. Now you out here trying to make a living, all right, feed your families, and they still coming for you to make it appear like you all are just basically felons. And I'm just looking at the amount of time that they gave to you all. It's like, what criminal act did you all commit? And if you have a judge, you have a federal appeals judge talking about that this case was a civil matter, not a criminal matter, then yeah, it's something wrong here. It's something wrong here. And I think that your case, you all's case, it really truly needs to be looked into, and you all need to be made whole. And we need your technology, because after listening to Elon Musk and after looking at everything that Doge have found out, after looking at this, I can't believe that American taxpayers, we pay all of these taxes, and these people can't seem to get this stuff together. But when it comes down to money laundering, they okay with that, with these NGOs and different things. They okay with that. But see, your technology would have stopped that. Your technology would have red flagged that, so that wouldn't have been able to even happen. You see what I'm saying? So they don't want your technology like that. Well, oh my God, you too smart for that. How did they get a hold to this? This small company get a hold to this, but you are a solution. You are a developing company with these different solutions and packages. And it's a sad day in America. It's a sad day in America when our government do what they can do to tear it all down. So I'm grateful that you still have your technology, and I'm praying for you all to get a pardon, get the pardon that you are seeking. Okay, and I'm going to do what I got to do on my side, because it's no more than right. There's so many people that have just basically been done wrong, and we see it every day. And then when it comes down to President Trump, we see it right there with President Trump. Same script, right. Different cast. They make up a lie, right, and then they push that lie on that person. and do everything they can to tear down that one person. That's what they do. That's what they do. Final words. Any final words? I'm gonna start with Dave first. Final words, Dave. What you have to say about all of this, or do you have something to say to me?
I'm really appreciative that you're actually allowing us to tell our story, because to be able to tell it, it really helps us, because we feel like we're getting the word out that it's not just us that stuff like this happens to. It happens to people every day in this country, and things have got to change. And I really hope that by promoting our story, people are going to come forward and say, you know, the same thing happened to us. We need to make some changes in this country.
Amen to that. And if anybody else have a story like this, y'all send it to diamondandsilk@gmail.com. Go ahead. David Banks, darling, any final words? What do you have to say about all of this, or do you have something to say to me?
Well, I appreciate, again, you so much for being able to understand and see through all of the nonsense. It's a sad day when you have clear-cut evidence and facts on your side and nobody will listen. What's happening in the justice system is just, I don't even have words. If I could underscore, I can't even overstate just how horrible this was for us and our family. My daughter, other men's kids who wrote Obama pleading with him. We went to Congress, over 70 trips to Congress. We tried everything in the book. The Washington Post, they said only Obama could save us. That's a joke. It was a joke at the time. He wasn't going to save anybody. He doesn't care. He's a political animal, and that's all he really cares about, in my opinion. Yeah. So I'm eternally grateful for you giving us this opportunity to tell our story. And hopefully one day, given the receipts here, this can be turned into some sort of documentary. It is just, it's horrible, and people need to know what's going on in this country. And I really am grateful to President Trump. I don't care what people say about him. He's an honest broker of what he says he's going to do. He does. And I can be appreciative. When he first came out, it was kind of shocking. He was like shocking to see him. But what we went through, and you start to see, they talk about deep state. This stuff is real out here. There are rogue people in the background doing things. I don't criticize everybody in the government or hate the government or nothing along those lines, but injustice needs to be addressed, and it needs to be addressed forcefully. And I'm just eternally grateful for you giving us an opportunity to tell our story.
Yeah, it's truly infiltrated with bad actors, with with individuals that have nothing but nefariousness on their mind. All they want to do is see how they can just take and block people from succeeding. But this is supposed to be the land of the free, the home of the brave. Okay, this is where you're supposed to have access to the American dream. And if illegal aliens, if they can allow illegal aliens to come into our country and have access to the American dream, if you was born on this soil, you should be first in line to having access to the American dream and having your own business. You call it a small business. It sounds like a big business to me, but having your own business and to be able to create something like this that can help this whole entire country, that's a very, very good thing. So, gentlemen, I always say, I've never seen a storm that did not end. All right. I've never seen a storm that did not end. And this storm will end for you. Mark my words. It will end from you. And the rainbow is right there in the sky for all to see. And I ain't talking about this trans stuff. No. We own the rainbow. It's God's rainbow. Thank you, gentlemen, so much for being on the Diamond and Silk Chit Chat live show. And I will have you back soon as this here continue to progress. All right. God bless you. Thank you. All right. You all, yes, you all. We're going to have to pray. We're going to have to pray for these guys. We're going to have to pray for these gentlemen. Yes, yes, yes. We're going to have to pray for their business. We're going to have to pray for our country. So every day at 11:21 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we start what we're doing and we pray. I pray for you. You pray for me. We pray for each other. Pray for President Donald J. Trump. Pray for his family and pray for God to heal the land. So in the meantime and in between time, I look forward to seeing you next time right here on Diamond and Silk Chit Chat Live. Bye-bye.